So now I have to introduce to you a person that we share the building with, that has become an acquaintance, and I've he's a very kind man, and I have great respect for his devotion to love of Scripture. Mm-hmm. And he's not afraid to discuss Scripture with you at any given moment.
At the drop of a hat.
And the drop of a hat. And I appreciate it. And sometimes I have time for that conversation, and I really enjoy it. Okay.
When he holds the FedEx man up, though,
right.
It's usually a little much.
Yeah.
The guy's trying to drop his package and leave.
Right. I thought to myself, I know that this acquaintance of mine, there's no way he would ever do what he did yesterday. And he crossed a line yesterday that is a line that shall not be crossed.
Yeah.
Okay?
What happened, Rick?
And our relationship has changed now forever.
No matter what the subject is.
And what he did to me, he traumatized me to the point that I had taken a few steps toward being able to handle public restrooms.
Right.
I'm now all the way back in therapy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw you when you walked in yesterday, and I thought, what happened to Rick? He looks flushed.
If I was a drug addict or I was a drunk, they would go, well, we got to start over.
Yeah, he fell off the wagon.
Back to step one.
What he did, I can't even believe he couldn't discern this himself. You've talked about all the things we've seen in there that we can't believe.
Oh, this stops it.
It does, and I feel bad for everybody who does this show with me. And let me tell you why I feel bad for y'all. I hate that y'all weren't in there and saw me in this situation, so you could have enjoyed
Rick,
it.
I share that feeling with you.
Y'all would have laughed. Y'all would still be laughing today at my expense.
Well, I've told you,
If I could
I would
just
either
turn
have,
back time.
I would have either ran out of there or tried to help for some reason. I don't know how I would have done that.
This
I would've cheered
this
it
story
on.
has so traumatized Andy Blanks. He said, I know from time to time we have meetings at your office. I cannot return to that office building.
He's out.
He's out.
I feel you, Andy.
So here's what happened. So on the rarest of occasion, you'll walk into that public restroom and there will be no one in there.
Hey, that's a fist pump for
And
me.
you need
I'm
to
like,
take
yes!
advantage of it. If
Well,
that's the case.
that needs to be that early in the morning when we first get here. That's a possibility, but it's very rare.
I had pulled off was it
No, it's post.
No, it was pre-podcast.
It was
I'm sorry.
post-show,
I thought you were going to
pre-podcast.
say show.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say.
And I tried to use that window, and I walked in, and I couldn't believe it. I said, no one's in here. So I do what I always do, and I know this bothers some of you, and if someone who's handicapped comes in, I'll move. But I always go to the handy stall because it has the most room.
Well,
and
Rick,
you're
there's
you're the most secluded.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, right.
It's wider for those of us that have a little more girth.
Yeah.
And it's at the end of the row, which means everybody doesn't have to walk by it.
Right.
So that's the key.
And so I didn't know that this acquaintance who loves Scripture, and we discuss it all the time, I didn't know he saw me go in. Mm-hmm. So I go to the far end where I always do, and I hide away. I lock my door, and I come in for a landing. Okay, and
You can't believe it.
And the process is about to begin, and all of a sudden, outside my stall, I hear someone quoting Hebrews 13.
What? To you.
To me.
Not just out loud.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I freeze. I don't know what to do. Hey, Rick, I was just reading Hebrews 13, and I thought, oh no. Speaking of the Bible, Lord, deliver me from this moment.
Yeah.
And my hand is literally behind me because I always start with what I do a courtesy flush to hide the first.
Hey, get careful.
I just want to. The first time I go in, I want to have noise to drown out any noise that may be associated with it.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay,
Gotcha.
So I don't know what to do. So my hand's back here, and I'm also my digestive system freezes because I panic.
Scared it.
Because I
scared to
panic.
death.
Now I'm locked, and I'm going to tell you something. I've never. Probably, maybe there might have been maybe a prostitute that's had Scripture read to them with their pants down. But I'm talking about
It ain't many.
there's not many, and I've never had Scripture read to me with my pants around my ankles sitting on a toilet. Never.
No.
And it's not just that he's outside my door talking to me, which is already enough. He's quoting Hebrews 13 to me through the
Very
door,
passionately.
wanting a response. And I
Can you see the top of his head?
I love the book of Hebrews. I'm even considering it for one of our Wednesday Bible studies. But this is not the moment and the time. And so I think, well, if I go ahead and flush, will he get the message?
Right.
So
Rick, I don't believe it.
I do not speak because I can't speak. I go back here and I do the handle because it's an old school toilet, and I give him a flush, and I think, well, that'll do it. He just waits for the flush to dissipate, and he starts again.
Oh, he actually stopped for the flush.
Yeah, and then I was like,
That's even better.
Rick,
He wanted you to be sure to hear it.
and then there's part where it says, see, I don't want to be like Esau, and who gave up his birthright, and I was just like, and I flush it again.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, I give him 2 flushes, trying to say, please, is there any way that you could go away from the door? I guess I should have maybe commented or said something,
Hey,
but
buddy,
I couldn't speak. I didn't know what to do.
Give me a minute.
And I don't know.
Let me get with you when I get done.
Do you say give me a minute? It was just such an uncomfortable moment for me. I didn't know what to do.
And Rick, there is some irony in this. I find some humor that, probably just me, but Hebrews 13 says, keep on loving one another as brothers and sisters, and do not forget to show hospitality to strangers.
Good night.
He skipped that part. Bubba, picture this. I give him this. And I give him, and I think, well, he'll stop. And in 13, I don't want to be like Esau, who gave up his birthright. And I'm like, I can't believe this is happening.
Wow.
And I give him 3. 3.
No.
3 flushes.
3.
I never respond. I don't.
Rick, you know
any,
what you were doing? You were giving him hope you were finished, and he was going, well, Rick, he's about finished because he's flushing.
And he's probably thinking, boy, Rick's tore up.
I tell you, Rick, that's a 3 flusher.
I stayed in there until he eventually grew tired of quoting Hebrews 13, and I heard him fade away out the door, and I just sat there. I mean, and it was one of those moments that I thought, I feel like I need therapy. Should I call somebody?
You need counseling.
Is this where I get my counselor on the line? Rick, are you okay? I'm sitting here with my pants down on the toilet. I'm stuck in a public restroom. Someone just read scripture to me through the door while I was on the toilet. And Rick, just get up, pull your pants up, walk out of there, and go find somebody to talk to. I didn't know what to do. So you know what that's done? I'll never go back in there.
No,
now.
that's over.
It's
I mean,
done.
do you realize how far
done.
back now I've gone?
And he thought that he inspired you and all this. He walked out there, hey, man, I brought the word to Rick.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
went through his mind. It
made him flush.
that made you not listen to one word of it.
Look, it's one thing to ask me about, March Madness. I mean, that's bad enough. I don't like that. I hear people do that sometimes. But I wasn't ready for that.
Rick, at least be glad he didn't try to lay hands on you.
Oh, no.
Good point.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.